Okay, it's finally division time. We're going to review a different method of division. We're going to start with standard algorithm, which is probably the most commonly used method of division. It's the way that your parents learned how to do it. If they're working with you, this is the way they're going to show you. So I want to make sure that you have just a backup, a little extra review on it. And it's good for everybody to be able to do standard algorithm, especially as you're moving up grade by grade, working on higher level math. Typically, standard algorithm is the most efficient. So we're going to start with a quick review of the vocabulary piece because vocabulary is just as important in math as it is in language arts. Inside our little house, as we'll call it, is our dividend. And our dividend is just the number that we're dividing up into those equal parts. Outside of the house, we have our divisor. And our divisor is dual purpose. It can kind of be used interchangeably. So most of the time we say that it tells us how many equal groups this dividend is split into. But sometimes it just tells us the number of something within that group. So maybe there are 152 tennis balls in each of my groups, or maybe there are 6 groups and we're trying to figure out how many tennis balls are in each group once we've divided 928. Our answer to our division problem is called the quotient, and that's going to end up on top of the house when we're done. So we'll start by making multiples of 6, and we're going to do the first 9 multiples just down the side as a nice reference for us. So we'll start with 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and 54. And this is just to help us figure out, or not figure out so much as it is a reference point for us as we're figuring out how many times 6 is going to go into 928. So first step is how many times will 6 go into 9? 6 will only go into 9 one time because 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12, and that's already too large. So 6 will go in one time. 1 times 6 is going to give us 6, and we'll write that out below. And then we're going to subtract, and that will leave us with 3. So we just divided. 6 will go into 9 one time. We multiply. 1 times 6 is 6, which we've written down here. We've subtracted. 9 minus 6 is 3. And our next step is to bring down the next digit. So that's going to leave us with 32. We've divided, multiplied, subtract, and brought down the next digit. So we're going to start that all over again, but this time asking ourselves how many times will 6 go into 32? 6 will go into 32 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So we're going to write that right up here above. 5 times 6 is 30. We'll subtract that out. That leaves us with 2, and then we will bring down the next digit. That'll give us 28. Again, we divided. We asked how many times will 6 go into 32? It went in 5. We multiplied. 5 times 6, that gave us 30. We subtracted. 32 minus 30 gave us 2, and we brought down the next digit. So we're going to start that again. How many times will 6 go into 28? It will go in 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Ooh, got ahead of myself there. 4 times 6 is 24. We'll subtract. That leaves us with 4. There's nothing left for us to bring down, so we know that we're at the end of our problem, but we do have 4 left over, and that's going to be our remainder. Now, I know that 4 is a good remainder because it's less than our divisor. If we had something left over that was larger than our divisor, either we've made a mistake or we just haven't finished dividing because we can still keep going. There's more to be divided out. So at the end, our final quotient is 154 with a remainder of 4. 928 divided by 6 gives you 154, remainder